Let me be blunt. I've spent most of my adult life watching people invest. I watched them during booms, I watched them during crashes, I watched them when markets were calm and when they were absolutely terrified. And after all those years, here's the uncomfortable truth most people don't want to hear. People who did best were rarely the experts. They weren't the loudest. They weren't on television. They weren't predicting the next big thing. They were ordinary people who stayed ordinary. Meanwhile, I watched brilliant analysts, Ivy League graduates, and professional forecasters make decisions so complicated they forgot the one thing that actually matters, owning good businesses for a long time. If you're over 40, and especially if you're over 50, you don't have time left to impress anyone with how smart you sound. You have time left to be right, and those are not the same thing. Part 1, the biggest myth Wall Street sold you. Somewhere along the way, investing became a performance. People stopped asking, will this make sense over the next 10 or 20 years? And started asking, will this make me look informed right now? Wall Street loves this, because the moment investing becomes about intelligence, credentials, or predictions, you stop trusting yourself. You think, I need an expert. I need access. I need complex models. I need to understand what everyone else understands. That mindset doesn't protect you. It paralyzes you. I saw this firsthand. While I was managing money, I'd meet everyday investors, teachers, nurses, engineers, small business owners who quietly did very well. They didn't read 10 reports. They didn't react to every headline. They didn't panic when markets fell. They bought businesses, they understood, they waited, they let time do the heavy lifting. And then I'd meet professionals who jumped in and out, chased themes, reacted to fear, and talked themselves out of good decisions because they didn't want to look wrong. Being wrong quietly beats being clever publicly. Part 2, why ordinary people had the real advantage. Here's something nobody told you. Ordinary people have one enormous advantage over Wall Street professionals. They don't have to do anything. Professionals must act, comment, forecast, defend opinions, justify decisions every quarter. Ordinary investors can simply ask, is this a good business? And am I willing to own it for a long time? That's it. No urgency, no pressure, no career risk. If you're planning your investments for 2026 and beyond, this matters more than ever. The future will feel uncertain. It always does. And uncertainty pushes people toward complexity because complexity feels like control. But control is an illusion. The only real control you have is what you own, why you own it, how long you're willing to wait. Part 3, what actually worked and still does. Let me tell you what actually worked. Not in theory, not in textbooks, but in real life. 1, understanding before owning. If you can't explain how a business makes money in plain English, you don't own it, it owns you. You don't need to understand everything. You need to understand enough. Ordinary investors who did well asked simple questions. Who is the customer? Why do they keep coming back? What would make this business worse 5 years from now? They weren't chasing innovation. They were watching habits. 2, patience as a strategy. Patience isn't passive. It's a decision to let reality unfold instead of trying to predict it. The best returns I saw came from people who held through. Boring years, ugly headlines, temporary declines. They didn't confuse volatility with failure. 3, ignoring forecasts. Every year, someone confidently predicts what will happen next year. They're usually wrong, but always convincing. Markets don't reward predictions. They reward ownership. Part 4, why smart people consistently underperform. This part is uncomfortable, but it's important. Smart people tend to overanalyze, overreact, overtrade, overestimate their ability to time events. They turn investing into a puzzle that must be solved instead of a process that must be followed. I watched intelligent investors talk themselves out of winning positions because it feels too easy. Everyone knows about it. There must be something I'm missing. Sometimes there isn't. Sometimes the reason something works is because people need it. People use it. People keep paying for it. That's not unsophisticated. That's reality. Part 5, 2026, and the fear of getting it wrong. If you're planning for 2026, here's what I know for sure. You will hear recession warnings, boom predictions, crisis scenarios. This time is different. You always do. And fear will push you toward one of 2 mistakes. Doing nothing forever. Doing something dramatic at exactly the wrong time. The solution isn't courage. It's structure. Ordinary investors who succeeded had systems. They invested regularly, they diversified sensibly, They avoided all or nothing decisions. They stayed within their understanding. They didn't aim for brilliance. They aimed for survivability. Part 6, what I'd tell you if this were your last plan. If you're in the second half of life, your investing goal changes. It's no longer, how do I maximize returns at any cost? It becomes, how do I protect what I've built and let it grow without ruining my peace of mind? That means fewer decisions, fewer predictions, more quality, more time. The biggest risk now isn't missing the next big thing. It's making one unnecessary mistake. Part 7, the quiet truth about wealth. Wealth doesn't come from excitement. It comes from consistency, understanding, time, emotional control. The people who did best didn't feel smart while they were doing it. They felt bored, and boredom, it turns out, is a powerful ally. Part 8, why Wall Street needs you to do the opposite. Wall Street doesn't make money when you're patient. It makes money when you trade, switch strategies, chase performance, doubt yourself. That's why complexity is celebrated. Simple doesn't sell. Simple doesn't sound impressive. Simple doesn't create urgency. But simple works. Part 9, what I learned watching people age with their decisions. I didn't just watch portfolios. I watched people. I saw the difference between those who constantly worried, constantly adjusted, constantly regretted, and those who trusted their process, accepted volatility, lived their lives. The second group slept better. They aged better. They lived better. Money is supposed to support your life, not dominate it. Part 10. My final advice for 2026 and beyond, if I had to leave you with one lesson, it would be this. Stop trying to sound smart. Start trying to be right over time. You don't need perfect timing, secret knowledge, brilliant predictions. You need good businesses, clear reasons, patience, emotional discipline. Ordinary people got rich by refusing to turn investing into a performance. Experts failed because they couldn't stop performing. If you're over 50 and planning your financial future, hear this clearly. It's not too late to do well, but it is too late to be reckless. You don't win by outthinking the market. You win by outlasting your own fear. Wall Street doesn't beat you. Your need to sound smart does.